All right, guys, I know it's probably a little harder to see, but we've got our entire cutter bar here. We did the intermediate shaft. Some of that got recorded, some of it didn't. We had some issues and with our tool, which I'm actually going to go get and I'm going to show you. So we had some issues with the tool we made to get the intermediate shafts off. And I mean, it worked. Don't get me wrong. Well, I said I was going to get it. I'm not entirely sure where I put it. Here it is. So, I mean, it worked. Don't get me wrong, but next time I make this tool, which there will be a next time because this one's pretty much not usable anymore. So the whole design of this, obviously, is to pull the shafts out when they get stuck. And it worked. But like I said in the earlier part of the videos, is these need to be further apart so you can get your wrench in there a little bit better. And then, so this whole thing needs to be bigger. This threaded rod, this is nowhere near big enough. You need a good, I'm gonna say at least an inch. And we'll find that out next time I have to do this because I'll just make one out of 1 inch. So you need at least a 1 inch piece to keep these from twisting. I mean, I don't know if you can see it, but those are no longer straight. So this tool is no longer any good. But it did serve its purpose. It got me to where I needed to be after much fighting. Again, what we're going to do today is we're going to time this. It is very important that all your gearboxes, modules, excuse me, be in the right place. Otherwise, your blades hit, you tear up stuff. Anytime you pull one of these off, it's actually pretty important to mark where it is so you can put it back. But because we were replacing the intermediate shafts here, 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 and here, it's a little bit harder to mark it and get it all back in the same place because you're replacing the intermediate shafts, and that changes everything. So again, we replaced, we might have even done it here, and I don't remember, but I think we might have done the intermediate shafts from here over. So those have all been replaced. Didn't get a lot of video of that. It was very frustrating, and sometimes it's just hard to video this stuff when you're trying to get this stuff apart. And at that time, I was trying to use this mower to go back out and mow. I had hay to get down. I wasn't completely done. But after I had to order a couple parts, I gave up and grabbed our 3-point disc mower and went out there and mowed with that. So anyway, enough of that long-winded stuff. So how does this work? Obviously, I mean, you want to keep the blades from hitting. So in order to do that, each one of these needs to be 90 degrees away from, or apart from the other one, which we're good here, here, and here. But as soon as we get over here, you see this one's just a little bit off, which again, if it didn't have brand new intermediate shafts in there, and that's how you can tell. See this? As soon as I start moving this one moves. So the intermediate shaft between there and there is good. If I move this one, you see I got a little bit of slop between this one and this one. That means the intermediate shaft is a little bit worn. And again, if I was a smart individual, I would go ahead and take this one and this one apart and fix that problem. But I've fought with this thing enough, and I just kind of want to use it. So if I need to pull it back out, it's 4 bolts. I drop the thing off. It's not that big of a deal. Which is what I should have done in the first place. The previous video where I was doing it all on the machine. I don't know, sometimes I don't think real clearly. But anyway, so now what we need to do is we need to get this one 90 degrees from this one. We're working from that side over, and then we'll get this one 90 degrees from this one, and then we'll put this one together and put it 90 degrees from that one and that one and that one. And there's a couple tricks along the way that you kind of got to do in order to do that, because just picking this one up and turning it one little chunk might not be enough. We might have to actually pick up the whole box, turn it 180 or 90 degrees, and then turn it a couple chunks. But we'll get into that here in just a little bit. So I guess first things first, we need to go ahead and take this one off. I don't have all my tools right here. which I planned on having it all set up. But we're going to go ahead and take this one off, which obviously it's already been off. And I probably should replace some of these bolts and stuff, but I'm not going to. Later on, after we're all done with this, we are going to put on the high stubble kit, because I think in our type of hay, it will just do better. All right. So we're going to pull this off of here. Now, we know this was this way, right? This is this way. So in an ideal world, we'd be able to loosen this bolt up, pick this hub up. Let me show you what a hub looks like if you haven't ever seen one before. This is off of this one over here. So the hub has a whole bunch of splines on it. So ideally, if we were to take this and making sure we're 9 degrees there, if we were to take this here and it would go one spline, if one spline would work, then we're gravy. We pick this up, we take this one off, we turn it one spline, and everything's all good from there, right? Then we're 90 and 90, and then I can put that one back on. But if it doesn't work with one spline, we might have to turn it another 90 degrees like that. If that doesn't work, we turn it another 90 degrees. And I know this sounds crazy, but sometimes that makes a difference. If that doesn't work, we have to pull this box off, pick it up, spin the gear just a little bit, and put it back down, and then try it again. Hopefully we don't have to do that. I do not think I have had this one off. It doesn't look like it, but I can tell you our relief valve is right there, our pressure relief valve. So I'm going to move this one over here. And I'm making a mess on my floor. I do want to say we just stopped and got these, what do you call them, sawhorses for the big HF, and I was a little worried about them, but they seem to be okay. I don't know. We did all that beating on them for the bearings, so I assume they're all right. All right, so what are we going to need? I'm going to have to go get some more tools, because I need star point there, socket to get this off, and then what else do I need? I need my impacts. I think that might actually be over here. So let me see if I put that in here. That might be this. It says it's an 18 millimeter. For some reason, I don't think that's right. So the other thing that I don't have over here that I'm going to have to go get, yeah, see, I knew that wasn't right. I'm going to have to go over here and get my Loctite, because all of this is going to have to be re-Loctited. In all actuality, technically, you're supposed to replace some of this stuff. I'm replacing some of the bolts. I'm not replacing all of the bolts. But, so here's our Loctite. We got two brand new things of Loctite there. We got our red Loctite and we got blue Loctite. And actually, we're supposed to have green Loctite, but I figured that was kind of overkill. I'll explain what the difference on green Loctite is in a little bit. But as of right now, I've got to go gather up some tools and make sure that I've got everything sitting right here so that this becomes a whole lot easier. So bear with us just a little bit. Remember, like, subscribe, and we'll be back in just a minute. All right, so I've got most of my tools here. Hopefully I don't have to run and go get a whole bunch of other stuff. Yeah, I've got some sockets down there and stuff that I can get to if I need to. All right, so we've got our, million point socket there. No, it's not impact rated, but I'm using it. So another thing, if you want to cheat, you can actually put two 2x4s in here or a 4x4, kind of squish it in there so it doesn't turn these. The problem with that is I'm going to need to turn this a lot, so I'm not sticking that in there. So I'm going to pull this out, and there you can see this actually had blue Loctite on it. See? You can kind of see it had the stuff on there, so this is one that will get blue Loctite. Now, the other thing that I don't have that I need is a pen or a marker or something. That'll work. Do I have a silver one? Yes, I do. All right. So I got two Sharpies. I got a black Sharpie and a silver Sharpie. So looking at this, that's pretty well in line. Pretty square. And like I said, there's a little to no slop between there and there, but we are off just a hair. So we're going to pick this up right now. I see we've got a red mark right there. Right now that's where we are. So we're going to pick this up very carefully. And we're going to turn it one full thing. And now I can't get it to go back on. I go back. That's where it was there. If I go one full turn. Now we're too far this way. See, this is what I was talking about. So we might actually have to pick this up and turn it. Ooh, that's pretty close. That's pretty close right there. I turned it 90 degrees. And now, I mean, that's close. There's a little bit of movement in the actual splines itself there. But let's take a look at that and see what that looks like. Just run this down on top of there. We're not tightening this crap out of it. We're just putting it on here. Let's see how we look. That's pretty close. Because I'll put that in there. I'll put that one there. And then we put this one here. Man, that's pretty close. I think we're going to call that okay. Because like I said, we do have, I mean, a little slop in there. So we're going to say that one's pretty good. All right, so we're in line there. We're in line there. That's a whole lot better than it was. This one's actually, see, but those have slop in them. So right there, that's pretty good. None of this one's back together, so we're not gonna put it all the way there. Oh, actually, stuff is gonna start getting in my way, unfortunately. So this blue Loctite stuff is gonna go down here on the floor for now. This is a block that I was hoping to not need. A tool, basically. Okay, that one's a little tight. Put that one there. And again, this has been sitting halfway apart for months. I was waiting on some stuff, and we're just going to put the 3/4 on this one so I don't have to keep running back and forth. I was waiting on some bolts that I ordered instead of ordering from New Holland. I sourced the proper bolts for a fraction of the price. So, and actually, I'll have those bolts up on my website here, hopefully pretty shortly, that you can get. And actually, I also sourced these bolts right here because what New Holland wants for those is absolutely ridiculous. So, all right. So now we are kind of, I'm going to set this over here again. Again, we're not exactly straight here. Man, that's so close. I'm not sure how I feel about that one yet. We are way off right here. But that's the direction we were. All right, but we know that's not right, so we're going to hold this still. Get that on there and pull that off. Set this right here for now. And we're going to look at it. So everything over here is pretty good. Kind of like that. Again, make sure all this is in line. That's pretty good there. That's pretty good there. We do have a little more slop than I'd like there, but you know what? That's okay. All right, so again, we're off. Where's our marker? I should have set this stuff on here a little bit different, but I didn't want it to fall. We got some rust. It is going to come off nice though, because as of right now, we're here and here. Tell us where we started. We're going to pick it up. We're going to turn one whole revolution, which is too much. So from where we were at, we are going to turn 90 degrees. Stop it. Let's see. I don't like that one's too much too. So let's try this one here. Man, that's not bad either. So basically, if I show you a top-down picture, you can see that originally right here in the center, I'll get a picture of this so you can see. This is where I originally was, and this is where I was originally was. It looks like I turned it 180 degrees, but I didn't. Well, I did, but I didn't. I don't know if you can see this. We'll try and see it. I'll put a picture up. Let's turn the flash off. So you can see we were right here. You see it's slightly at an angle. It's not clocked straight up from one to the other one. It's crazy. I don't know if a silver marker would show up better. Let's see. This is where we originally were. These two lines. And the answer is no, that doesn't show up any better. But you can see it's not straight up and down, hopefully. I'll use some photo editing to show you. But now we're pretty much straight up and down and straight left and right. I mean, it's pretty dang close. So if we were to take our bolt here, again, we're going to have to come back. We're going to have to put Loctite on all this before we lock it down, before we put it back together all the way. All right. I'm being very gentle. We'll come back and we'll torque all these when we're all said and done too. All right. And the other thing we're going to do is we're going to at least flip over our blades. I forgot to mention that. So before we put all this back together, actually I lied. After we put all this back together, we are going to flip over our blades because they're pretty well worn, and some of them, of course, when this thing broke, some of them hit each other. So, all right, now we have this, which I'm going to have to do some cleanup on. I've already done some cleanup on it, right? We don't need these bolts at all. I actually tried to look and see if rebuilding these are worth it. And I mean, in theory it is, but see, I need to get the rest of the gunk out of this too, so I'll have to drain this one again. I thought I had it pretty good. Apparently I do not. I need to clean it out some more. Anyway, we got to get all this gunk off of here, all this silicone. So we're going to do that. I'm not going to make you watch that. We're going to do that, and then we're going to get this cleaned up a little bit. And we got to pull the cap off of that one and put it on this one. And we'll be back in a few minutes. Okay, so I've got this cleaned up. We're going to turn this a little bit and then turn it back. All right, so I believe this was this way. You can see how this works, right? So this just spins around in the center. But to tell you where it was or what it is, we're not going to bolt this down, really. We're going to put some bolts in it, but we're not going to tighten it down because we're going to have to take it off more than once. So, but the trick is we do have to make them lower than where the hub goes. Our hub's a little grody, right? So now there's no oil in this gearbox right now. Module, excuse me. So I see this all moves, but I'm actually looking at the holes here. They line up pretty good. And again, you can see basically as soon as the actual module starts turning, this one's turning. So again, that's because we have a good intermediate shaft. I'm going to clean this one up just a little bit. So it's going to get loud for just a second. I just figure it might make it easier to ride on it if it's cleaned up some. So, all right, so we just need to be, 90 degrees from that one. Nope, that's not going to work. That's not going to work. That is. So there's our spot. That's actually pretty good. Let's try one more time here. Turn it around. With that spot there. Nope, I don't like that one. I definitely don't like that one. I definitely don't like that one. Definitely don't like that one. So the only one I even remotely like is that one, which is spot on. So now we need to mark it because we got to pull it back off. So we're going to mark this spot here all the way up with this spot here, which is completely different from where it used to be. But here's the next thing. I have to mark that spot is somewhere right in there because when I put it back on, that needs to be in line with this other one. So again, we're going to mark this line here with right here. I can't even see that. That's a waste. It doesn't even work. Where's one of my wax pencils? Where are you? Well, Lord knows. Got this blue paint pen. Might work. So let's get our thing here again. Let's get you put right back where you go. I'm going to tell you, I've never been impressed with these paint pens. Sometimes you have to do this and flip them over so that the other side gets wet. Anyway. making a line on one side and a V on the other so that there's no confusion as to which way this goes. I'll set it down right there, and then again the same thing, the V. Now, the single line, come on, goes basically straight up and down, and then the V goes down here. All right, because we have to pull this top back off. Why? Because we have to put silicone under there and everything else. So, with all that being in line, yeah, we need to put oil in it, silicone in it. We are going to try to not move anything when we do this. And if I remember right, these don't need silicone or Loctite. We're just going to set that down right there. Now we got to put some oil in the gearbox because I don't want to do it later. And silicone all over this right here. And then put it back on and move on to the next module. So we're going to do that. Not going to make you watch that. So we'll be back in a little bit. All right, so we got that put on there with its silicone and all that good stuff. We're going to set this one on there. And that's the one thing I didn't do is tighten this up a little bit. We're going to tighten this one on there. Get you. Okay. Come on, let go. All right, so there's that. So now we're still, let me get this off of here so you can see. We're still pretty good in line all the way down. Let me get this back where it's supposed to be. There we go. And I've got this one. And these will have to be cleaned up with a wire brush a little bit because they kind of got sat in water. But okay, so we're good, 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 bad, good. All right, so let's see what we have to do to this one. This is where it originally broke. That's why there's junkyard numbers on this, because I bought that from a junkyard intermediate box. I'm still going to weld the other intermediate box back together when I get the right kind of stuff. So, okay, pull this one off. We're just going to set it over here. And then, like I said, this one shouldn't have to move. We should be good there. Now we're still going to have to go back down through here and put Loctite on every single one of those bolts that we've taken off here, 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 and here. And I don't remember if we took this one off. Yep, we did. We took it off. It's definitely off. So, all right, that can go there. All right, what do we got going on here? We're not even going to market this one this time. Sorry, I don't like where that's at. We are going to pick it up, rotate, and drop. That's not good. Pick it up, rotate, and drop. That's okay. It's not great. Pick it up, rotate. Come on. And drop. Again, that's the same thing. That's okay. Rotate and drop. That's not good. Come on. Rotate and drop, not good. Rotate and drop. I know I've done this more than 4 times. Come on, get in the hole. And that's not good either. I think the closest one, let's see, even that I don't like. Yeah. Try this one. Because if this doesn't work, we're going to have to pick up the cover on this one. Ah, no, that's pretty good. That's not bad. Not great. I don't like that one either. Hate to say this. We're going to let all this turn 90 degrees. Look at this. That one in line there. Let's see what happens now. Well, that's not bad. Okay, so that one's not bad. That one's horrible. That one's pretty bad. That one's a little out of line. I hate to say this, we probably need to jump a dang tooth on the bottom. Although that actually isn't bad right there. Nah, that'll work. That'll work right there, I think. Where's our bolt? Let's bring this down. Right there. And then we'll put this one on here. Like so. We're just going to put a couple bolts in there. Like so. And like so. And then we're going to come over here. See, this one I've never taken off, and we're gonna make sure all the blades are out. All the blades are out. All the blades are out. Now, I've got quite a bit of slop right here, which bothers me. See, I'm debating whether I need to go ahead and take these two apart, basically here and here. Let's just see how it goes. We're going to turn 90 degrees there. Everything should pretty much line up. This one's a little off. But again, some of that's the slop that's... Let's see where the slop is. There's a little bit there and there's a little bit there. Again, we're going to go in the direction we're supposed to go and stop there. Nothing hits. This one's a little off. Well, we're not actually there yet. Let's go here. This is an issue. Let's just keep watching it for a second. Nothing hits, nothing hits, nothing hits, nothing hits. Nothing hits. I said the biggest issue I've got is right here. Now, I'm going to be awful mad if I put this back together and that spline shaft wears out immediately. Let's just keep watching. Stop. I mean, again, we have an issue down here. But the only way to take care of it is to replace this spline and this spline. Well, let me decide if that's what I'm going to do. But basically, I mean, we're in time. About as good as we can with these. Now, if you watch, ignoring these two on this end, if we watch this side and we get them all in line, that's pretty good. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. This one's a little off. No, I guess that's okay. And that one's okay. If I take this one and I turn 90 degrees, those all look pretty good. And turn 90 degrees. Those all look pretty good. Turn 90 degrees. And those all look pretty good. So the reason why you have slop, see, these are good. These are really good. As soon as I move this one moves, but you see there's a little bit of time delay between that one and that one. That means the module is actually worn, because I replaced the spline shaft. I'm pretty sure I did. So anyway, yeah, I don't think I'm going to take this part apart. Anyway, it's all lined up now. I mean, it's 90 degrees all the way down pretty much. That's pretty dang close. I mean, you've got a little bit of forgiveness in there, not a lot. But now what we got to do is we got to take this one back off. We're going to apply a little bit of blue Loctite to it. We're going to torque it back down. I've got to look up my torque values because I don't remember. So we're going to do that real quick, and we'll be back in a few minutes. All right, guys, we're going to start with this one here. I've got the cutter bar kind of blocked up. We need this blue thread locker, medium strength stuff. We're going to put on this bolt real quick. I think this stuff is already open, isn't it? Or do I got to cut this tip off? I got to cut the tip off. So we've got the one bolt off. We'll, as soon as I find a razor knife. All right. Got our blue Loctite ready. If I can find where I put the bolt. We got to go to 150 foot-pounds. My old torque wrench is the only one that goes up that high. So this one actually had quite a bit of blue on it. So we're gonna go ahead and put some. Ooh, that was a little bit too much blue. Didn't mean for it to come out that much. All right, so we're gonna put this on here and let it run down in there. All right, that's all she's wrote there. Now hopefully this table don't try and fall on me, because what we might have to do is, oop. Come on, you come this way. You go back down in there, and then you go, there we go. We're not to 150 foot-pounds yet. Now we are. All right, that's 150 there. That one's good. We got this crammed down in here to keep it from moving. Let's keep moving here. Actually, this time I'm gonna got that one done. Get some blue thread locker on this one. All right. That one in the hole. We got a little bit of gunk on there. And then take this one off. I think the only reason why this one came off is I was trying to see if it was broke right here. I think. A little bit of blue thread locker. Probably a little too much. I'm going to cuss myself when I got to take this stuff off. But we'll just introduce some heat to it. It'll be all right. All right. So, oops. Need my socket. All right. This should be correct. Wow. That's really kind of making those out of line. But why? That should all be new stuff. Well, no, it's not. It's because I turned this one. Whoa, 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 whoa. None of that. That's what I was trying to avoid. And there's 150. Come on off of there. All right, that's good. Now I got to look up what the torque values are on those. Because, you know. Get everything set up. Ran down on there. Need an extension and all kinds of good stuff. Just put all these caps back on. So we're going to do that. And then we'll move on to the next part of the project. I doubt you really want to watch me put in, 40 bolts. Somewhere in that neighborhood. So anyway, that's it on time in the machine, and we'll show you one more time real quick. I'm gonna cover this back up. Show you one more time. Get some of this stuff out the way. Get that out the way. As long as we're going and we're not hitting any blades against each other, and we should be good. Ta-da! That's it for timing it. That actually went really easy out here instead of under there. But anyway, next step, we are going to change out all of the skid plates for the high stubble kit. We'll have to remove our makeshift table there, or at least move it to this side. So the next step will be putting on our what do you call it? The high stubble kit, and putting all of our rock guards back on. after we get all the top pieces back on. No, I actually lied. The next part will be pulling off all of the skid plates and flipping the blades that need flipped. And once we do that, then we'll come back and we'll put on the high stubble kit and put all the rock guards on. So thanks for watching. Remember, like, subscribe, all that good stuff, and we'll see you later.